Good morning, good afternoon. We are going to be working on 4.6 today, constructing functions. So we should be able to calculate and interpret rates of change. Rate of change is going to be that per or the each. Given a table or a graph, calculate and interpret the y-intercepts. The y-intercept is going to be your starting or initial fee given a table or a graph, and then writing linear equations for a set of values without being given a y-intercept. We're going to have to do some math to some numbers and figure it out. Okay, so finding the y-intercepts given a table or a graph. Step by step, we're just going to follow these. First, you're going to calculate the rate of change. Use the rate of change to find the initial value using addition or subtraction. This right here will make more sense once we get into some problems, but when we did some problems yesterday, let me go back here. Remember when we subtracted, like you can add one to each x or subtract one and you could get to the 0, and that's what your goal was. You wanted to know your initial rate, and so then we subtracted the $2.25 from this column and we got $12.75. That's their initial fee. So that's pretty much what we're going to be doing today too. Now I lost it. There we go. Alright, best option when given an ordered pair with x is equal to 0 is by subtracting 1 to get to 0. Sorry, x equal to 1. Did I say 0? Whatever. We're looking for x is 0, and then whatever this number is our y-intercept or our b. We are going to do our first problem. So Dylan is planning, let me know if I go off the screen, planning to have his birthday party at a skating rink. The rink charges a party fee plus an additional charge for each guest. So here we see that a party fee, that fee is going to be your initial fee. And we need to figure out what that initial fee is. So the first thing we want to do is find, and it tells you only have to go from 2 points. But you can see here that they're all going to be the same. What is the rate of change here? So the rate of the change is going to be your y, difference of your y. So this column, I'm adding 3 each time. And this one I'm adding 1. So that means $3 per what? $3 per guest. That is my when I choose 2 points from the table to find the rate of change. Just like before, if I wanted to add another guest, I could say 7, and then I would just add $3 here, right? And it would be, what, 71? Just like doing that, I can subtract 1 here to get to 0. And that's my goal, to get 0 and a number. So I'm going to subtract 3 on this side to get 50. So now I have an ordered pair of 0, 50, which is my y-intercept. That is my initial fee. I'm looking for that. So when it asks us to write a function to represent the situation, this one is going to be your slope, your rate of change, and this is going to be your y-intercept. So y equals $3 times however many guests you have, but you still have to add that $50 in. Okay, so this is my initial fee, and the 3 is my slope or my rate of change. So last class I had people saying, well, haven't we been doing this already? We have. Before we talked about it being linear equations. Now we're talking about it as functions. And instead of slope, we say rate of change. Instead of y-intercept, we say initial starting point. Or initial fee. Okay. Next problem, Music Inc. Music Inc. charges a yearly subscription fee plus a monthly fee. So the total cost for different numbers of months, including the yearly fee, is shown in the graph. Find and interpret the rate of change and the initial value. So my rate of change, I'm going to pick 2 points. So these 2 points, what is changing? So the change of the y, and I can write my points over here. So 115 and 218. I want to find the change of the y, so 18 minus 15 and 2 minus 1. So here, the 18 and the 15 represents the money, right? So it's going to be $3, and then the x represents the number of months, so $3 per 1 month. That is your slope, or your rate of change. So I still need to find my y-intercept. My y-intercept is right here. There is no exact number there. You can look and say, well, it looks like it's either 11 or 12 or 13. It's in between 10 and 15, but there's not an exact. So you have to use math to figure out the exact. So if I look here and I want to get to from this point here, so $15 for 1 month. What's my rate of change for the money? It's $3 a month, right? So that means I'm going to subtract the $3 from the $15, and it would get me 12. And then for each month, I'm going to subtract that month, and I get 0. That's what I'm looking for. The 0, at 0 months, how much is my initial fee? Which is $12. Oh. So y equals my rate of change, which is that $3 per month, times x, plus my initial fee of $12. Finding the y-intercept given ordered pairs from a table, graph, or ordered pairs, you want to calculate the rate of change first, or find the slope. Again, that's y minus y over x minus x. Then you want to substitute one of the ordered pairs for x and y and the rate of change for m into your y equals mx plus b form. And what you're going to do is you're going to solve for b. So this will make more sense when we get to an actual problem, but follow step by step. First, calculate the rate of change. Second, substitute, and then solve for b. Alright, so our example here, the table shows the monthly cost of sending text messages. Assume the relationship between the two quantities is linear, so find and interpret the rate of change and the initial value. So looking at this table, we could continue down to 0 to find 0 messages in what my initial cost is here. But I don't want to. I want to do it with math, because a lot of the times it's not going to be this easy or even this close to 0. So you're going to want to know how to do it the math way. So our first step was to calculate the rate of change if it doesn't give it to you. So here we want to find the change of the y, which is 10 cents. I'm going up 10 cents each time, over the change of the x, which I'm going up 1 text message each time. So that's my rate of change. 10 cents per 1 text. Okay, and then I have 3 ordered pairs here. 5, $10.50, 6, $10.60, 7, $10.70. So I'm going to choose any point that I want. So 6 and then $10.60. This is my x and this is my y. So I'm going to take my equation y equals mx plus b. I'm going to replace the y, the m, and the x. And then I'm going to solve for b. So the y is my $10.60 equals, my m is my rate of change. So 10 cents divided by 1 is just 10 cents. And then my x is 6, and then plus b. So everything gets replaced except for the b. And I need to solve for b. I want to find out my initial value. So I have to, order of operations says I have to multiply these two numbers first. 10 cents times 6 is 60 cents. Plus what number will get me $10.60. Now this, again, is going to be, you can usually do this math in your head, but you should know that you're subtracting 60 cents from both sides, This will cancel out. I get $10 over here, and that equals B. But that's not where I end. I have to substitute my numbers back into my y equals mx plus b form. I'm replacing the m and I'm replacing the b. Y equals 10 cents times x plus my initial fee of $10. All right, as a part of a grand opening, an arcade gave out free tokens to the first 100 customers. The graph shows the number of tokens customers received for each dollar spent at the Play More arcade. Find and interpret the rate of change and the initial value. So, again, I'm going to take 2 points and find the rate of change there. So my change in the y are the tokens from 32 to 38. So I'm going to subtract 38 minus 32, and then my y or x is 6 minus 5. This gets me 6, so 6 tokens for every $1 spent. This is your M. Then you're going to choose 1 point, either one, 532, and you're going to substitute that into your equation. So y equals mx plus b. Substitute the y in for y, the x in for x, and your m for m. 32 equals 6 divided by 1 is 6. X is 5 plus b. So 30 plus b equals 32. Subtract 30 from both sides. So your b is equal to 2. Then I'm going to replace y equals my slope, 6x, and then my initial starting point is 2. A zoo charges a rental fee plus a $2 per hour for strollers. The total cost of 5 hours is $13. Assume the relationship is linear. Find and interpret the rate of change in the initial value. They give you an ordered pair, 5 hours, $13. They also give you that $2 per hour, so they give you the M, or the slope, or the rate of change. So I'm going to just input these and solve. So y equals 13 equals 2 times my x plus b. 10 plus b equals 13. Subtract 10. Subtract 10. 3 equals b. Then I can write my equation. And to write an equation, you need your rate of change and your initial value. So y equals, your rate of change is 2x, and then plus 3. That means just to rent the stroller is $3, but it's also $2 per hour. I'll come back to this. Hold on. Your assignment.